Hey guys, welcome back. In the previous video, we looked at what memory is and how using Langchain we can introduce memory into our uh, application. So the next one we are looking at after memory are document loaders. So the basic idea of document loaders is you have your own private text data from multiple data sources and you want to tap the data sources into your application, into your Langchain application, and feed the data into your model. And we are going to look at how to do that. There are variety of document loader. You can click this link, it will take you here. There are variety of document loaders that are supported. Popular ones are Azure Blob Storage. Azure is Microsoft ones, and BigQuery is the one from Google. Or you can use CSV loader. Data frame is the pandas one. You can use email. For the purpose of this, you can also use Google Drive, Gitbook. For the purpose of this video, I'll show you how PDF is done, and I'll also show you Notion. So these are the two ones I'll be covering, but you have access to the list. If you think anyone would work for you, you can do a self-study to get a better understanding of which one would work for you. So the PDF example is, so this is the, you just need to install PyPDF, and then from Langchain, you need to import PyPDF loader. And let me open this PDF for you to show how this would work. So if I just go double click and open this is the PDF, which is an Adobe example. So this is the first page. So what we are doing is we are actually loading the PDF and we are printing the first page contents here. So similarly, you can just go through whatever module is missing. You can do pip install that module and get through and get a better understanding of this. So coming back to the one we'll be using for our example. So let's look at this. So in this collab, we are going to use a Notion directory loader, and after Notion directory loader, we provide the Notion DB and then say loader and load the data. Post that we have the raw data. Before we can feed this model, we need to understand something called as indices. So indices refer to a way to structure documents so that LLM can best interact with them. So this module contains utility functions for working with different documents. So in order to work with documents, we need to understand three major concepts. One is embeddings. An embedding is a numerical representation of a piece of information. It can be text, documents, images, or audio. The next one is text splitters. So the long data of text, we are going to split it into smaller chunks, and the documentation is done here. I've shared it here. So you can do different types of splitting. And in our example, we'll be doing character text splitting, or you can play around with different splittings, whichever. If you don't like the default one I'm using, you can play around with the different ones, whichever is of interest to you. And the last one is the vector store. So coming to the vector store, there can be different vector databases we can use to understand the meaning of data and context for more accurate search results. So to feed our own data to the model, we need to make use of these three. We need to make use of indices, embeddings, text splitter, and vectors. And let's look at an example how this is actually done. So we are using this state of the union data. So for this, we are using request, and we are using the get URL, and we are saving it in a local file. After I've saved it in a local file, you can actually click on the, you can actually, no, wait, I don't need that, no. So yeah, after you run that, go to files here. So if you click on state of the union, so you should see a file here, app post running this. So let me run this for you. Yeah, so you see the state of the union file here. So this is the text file. So the git file, we were able to save a local copy. in Google Colab. So that's basically what we did. That's basically what this piece of the code is doing here. And after we do that, the second step is to apply a text splitter. So in our example, we will use something called character text splitter, and the code is actually shown here, and the chunk size we are picking is 1000, and the chunk overlap is 0, and we call split documents, and the output of it is saved in the docs. So the third step we need to do is to set up embeddings. So we can use different embeddings. In our example, we will be using Hugging Face embeddings, but there are variety of embeddings that are supported here. You don't only have to use this one, so you can use different embeddings here. You can use Elasticsearch, or you can use Pinecone, and other one. So you don't only have to use whatever I'm using. It's up to you, whichever you want to use, but for now we will use the Hugging Face embeddings in this one. And for this we also need to install something called as sentence transformer, post which we can create our embeddings. So we installed the embeddings and we got our Hugging Face libraries which are needed here. And from the other option of vectors, we will use fast CPU embeddings. And if you don't like it, you can play around with the different vector stores too. So for the purpose of this example, I'll use the fast one. And to invoke this, so we need the following piece of the code. From Langchain vector store, import this. And from this document, we need to pass docs and embeddings. And for this, we will pass the query. What did the president say about Ketanji Brown Jackson? And then we perform something known as similarity search. So let's run this code here. So we did this. So then the most likely match, similar match for us will be in doc0. So that's basically what I'm doing here. So if you look through this, you find a match here. And are there if you don't want the most similar one, you can actually check out the different docs too. So you can also try that out. So that's what I wanted to cover, and this completes our modules in this one. But the idea here is if we have to play around with this, the first thing we need to do is we need a document loader, and based on which sources we are selecting among the pool of input, the next thing is we need to create indices for them. So the way to create indices is first create an index, then pick the select the document loader, text splitter, then choose the embeddings, and then finally get the vector store. And that completes this tutorial, and then you can actually perform some sort of vector store selection based on what you want, and then you can do similarity search and multiple vector operations on this. So that's what I wanted to cover in this video. I hope this helps. So in the next one, let's look at more use cases, what you can do with Langchain with respect to OpenAI only for the purpose of this series. I hope this helps. Thank you for joining.